Tabassum Khan lives in a slum in Mumbai's suburban district Jogeshwari. She's on her way back from college where she is studying to become a physics graduate. Both her parents belong to the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, and like millions of Muslim adults, they have never sat in a classroom. Her family has been living in the slums since 18 years. Her mother has always wanted that the children never face the humiliation of growing up as illiterate adults. She wanted to send all her 5 daughters to school. Tabassum's father died of a heart attack about 10 years ago. The family was in shock, and the dream of seeing them grow up to be educated women seemed remote.
If we tell someone to send their daughter to school, they say, "How will we send them? They're girls." Let it be. She has completed 10th standard. What will she get studying further? In the end, everything boils down to money. It stops there.
In India, Muslims, Sikhs, Parsis, Jains, Christians, and Buddhists are minority communities. But among these, Muslims are the most backward, economically, socially, and educationally.
Tabassum and her 4 sisters continue their education at the Ittihad Urdu High School. Since her father's death, the school staff have convinced the mother to let the 5 sisters continue their studies. It is a government-aided school where tuition fees for pre-primary students is $1 a year and secondary education costs 11 cents a year.
They are very much interested, they are responsible parents, and they are much aware now. And the different schemes which are implemented by the governments, I think that is the main reason.
Poverty still remains the most fundamental reason for illiteracy among Muslims. According to government statistics, more than 25% of Muslim children have never attended school or have dropped out.
How much will I earn through daily wage labor? 100 to 200 rupees a day. Then there are medical bills to be paid. When we are spending so much, how can I send my child to school? We can't even afford to buy him a pencil.
There are numerous schools like these across the country. In order to attract and retain students, a student is paid 50 cents for each day of class that he or she attends. Midday meals are also provided free of charge. Madrasas are schools for Islamic learning. This Darul Uloom trains children in understanding Quran and Islamic faith besides teaching mathematics and the Urdu language. According to a government study, only about 5% of Muslim students study in madrasas.
If we get aid and the support of the government, then along with Islamic education, we can provide general education. Our institution will benefit and we can make our country proud. It is our misfortune that we don't get any help from the government.
Last year, the state increased its spending on special schemes for minority education by 74%. The state and central government set up a corporation in 2001 to help uplift minority groups. They provide loans for education and entrepreneurship. More than 90% applications are received from Muslim students alone.
If you look at records of the last 3 years, you can see that we are trying to reach the maximum number of people and inform them about our scheme.
India has the largest number of people in the world who can neither read nor write, making it a highly vulnerable country in terms of future growth and development. It spent only 3% of its GDP last year on education. There have been studies undertaken to understand educational practices among Indian Muslims.
Because obviously the prosperity of a country and the stability of the country really it depends very crucially on like the lowering the gap between the different communities, and as long as the gaps remain or if they continue to increase, that poses a great poses questions for the country as a whole.
From the 1st of April, the Indian government notifies the Right to Education Bill. The states will be held accountable if they fail to provide children access to education.
I want to succeed in life, achieve something significant. I want to complete my bachelor's in education, become a teacher. I want to get that one seat in a government job for myself and be proud to call myself a Muslim.
India's Muslim population is growing by 29% every decade, making it the largest growing religious community in the country. Critics believe change will arrive only when schools like these are accessible to every Muslim child in the country. Amrit Rambu, Press TV, Mumbai.